When I first started the school year, it was very different from other school years. I'm a very hands-on learner, so it was very difficult to get used to being visual and auditory because I had to change my whole style of learning.
The 2019-2020 year and then the 2020-2021 year kind of blurred together. But as we were coming back into another year in the middle of a pandemic, I think we had this feeling of uncertainty.
I mean, we came together as a BCPS community and we really put our best foot forward in trying to help these kids through this pandemic, knowing that we were going to have a lot of different barriers, and every single barrier that came up, somebody in some way, shape, or form made sure that they knocked it down.
That's one of the pieces that I love about Battle Creek Public Schools is that we have adults here who are willing to change the way that they think about education because they can see that what they're doing might not be working for students.
Well, when we think about our preparation and responsiveness as it relates to COVID-19, it really had to fall in two buckets. And so one is health and safety, mask wearing, social distancing, use of furniture, cleaning processes. The second bucket was around academics. And so we had to really shift around what does in-person instruction look like and how do we launch a virtual academy for those families who were not feeling safe sending their students to school.
Biggest theme that's emerged during this fourth year truly is helping to make sure that our students are learning and still ensure that every bear cat is seen by name, need, and strength. Teachers have done an amazing job with continually adapting instruction. You know, that we went from full in-person instruction last February to remote learning and then switching to the hybrid.
Whatever the structure was, we were going to make sure that we continued to educate kids and disrupted the learning loss to the best of our ability.
I can send a text message to families, but I'm also going to hit their email. And then I'm also going to put that same information on Facebook. And we've been ensuring that we're hitting the multiple languages that our families have within the community.
We recognize that COVID flipped this world upside down. We translated several documents for the district, especially around the food distribution sites. A lot of families depend on the kiddos to grab that breakfast and lunch, and that's budgeted for the month.
When it comes to access, we know that not every student has reliable internet. We partnered together in October with Comcast to set up a program where we provide families with a code that they can redeem, and they receive free high-speed Comcast internet that is paid for by the Battle Creek Community Foundation. If there are any barriers towards signing up, our communities and schools site coordinators have been phenomenal in making sure that those barriers are removed.
We have a really nice teacher. She's really smart and she helps us a lot when we need it.
We have fun.
We love our
and we
teacher.
do math at the same time.
Yes, we have fun.
Because I like my friends and I like my teacher and I like how she teaches all of us and I like how other kids are learning sign language.
I think kids know a lot more than people want to give them credit for. They see the changes that have happened. I think we owe it to them to have those conversations, and that's always in the forefront of our minds. In this community, we make sure that we're really creating relationships with students, but just there's so many more unknowns this year.
We made kids grow up really fast. I believe our teachers at BCPS did a phenomenal job, along with the support staff, of really being intentional about getting the relationship piece back.
It was very sad sometimes because there's a lot of friends that I was in the same class with that I haven't seen for like a year. So I really miss them, but I'm glad that we're actually back.
When I started, it was pretty hard. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I don't know how I'm gonna get into a Zoom class. I didn't know what Zoom was. I didn't know classrooms. I didn't know none of that.
From home, sometimes it's a little difficult. My grandmother, she used to be a teacher and she can help us out when we need it. I'm just hoping, next year that everything can go back to normal or at least, get better.
It started off really rough because this is something I think that was thrown on the Battle Creek Public School System. And I must say the administration have been so good in getting back to any questions I might have.
Buenas tardes, from one country to a new country. And everybody say, "Se mudó." Se mudó. Excellent.
To build our enrollment, we have to have options for families because, we don't want to admit it, but we are in competition. And so rather than having our families have options outside of the district, we wanted to create in-district choice to help us with the enrollment and sustainability part of our strategy. We have a large population in Battle Creek that was interested in science, technology, engineering, and math. And so we were able to create the STEM Innovation Center. And how could we really think about what kind of connection to our Latino community? And out of that came the Fremont International Baccalaureate Candidate School. Then when you talk to the business community, you could hear that they needed a workforce development pipeline. We needed an opportunity to engage students.
We really believe that equity work is about creating opportunity. What we know is if our kids are tied into our academies and really believe in the learning that they're doing, they're more likely to engage. It is to make sure that they find themselves in the experiences and the learning opportunities.
They're exposing you to different environments so you can experiment and have a good idea of what you want to do before you leave high school, so you don't have to struggle with that after you leave high school.
I like how this school, it has things that'll help you better with college. Like with Miss Waterman's class, like the EMT thing, like if you take 2 years of it, how you can get an EMT job after. I like how they have more opportunities, because my last school didn't have that.
When you talk about curriculum or when you talk about academics, you talk about equity as well. And you talk about culture and climate as well, and trauma-informed practices, so that we can stop separating them and we can see them as one thing. If equity thrives, academics will naturally thrive because the environment is a place that kids can actually learn in.
What COVID showed us is that there's not a one-size-fits-all approach to attendance. There's lots of different reasons why kids might not be attending. And at this time, we actually had different data sets to help inform what was our response. It's multidimensional, and we've got to have various responses and interventions based on what area the kid needs.
I take pride in the fact that we've come a long way, but I also give pause to the fact that we still have a ways to go. We absolutely have to take a break and celebrate all of our accomplishments, from really improving early literacy outcomes to creating a portfolio of school options in the city. We spent the last 4 years building that foundation, and next year we want to focus more intentionally on the student experience.
Battle Creek Central is a really great school. At the end of the day, it's unique by how they treat you, how they treat others, how they just inspire you to be better. And I hope to see in my future that I pay my family back for everything they gave